This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
New on Curiosity Stream. Are we close to building machines that are almost human? And can new technology give us superpowers? Find out on Super Sapiens. And in 1919, a British composer wrote the longest and most complex symphony in history. Conductors tried to perform it, but failed, declaring it cursed. Now a group of musicians will attempt the impossible, if they dare, on Curse of the Gothic Symphony. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
Let's play Beat Migs.
I will beat anyone that calls in to play the game. He's smarter than you. He'll make you look lame. 60 seconds on the clock. You're going down and I'm gonna rock. It's time to play the game. Yeah. So everybody scream his name. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa, Beat Migs, you're a loser.
It is time to beat Migs, and we've made it. It's Friday. I do believe Danny is jumping.
Whoa, yeah, he is.
Friday! Partying. Yeah! Yeah! Fun. Now I am a bit confused.
Uh-oh.
Because Steve and Danny seem to be celebrating Blue Friday.
That's right.
I noticed that.
What's so confusing about that?
Well,
it's
because
Friday.
It's
we're Seahawks fans. Blue Friday.
Yeah, I did you guys plan this or just randomly it happened?
Yeah, we called each other last night and said, let's dress the same. No, I just decided to wear a Seahawks shirt. It really had no rhyme or reason. There was zero thought put into it other than I wanted to wear something that was long sleeved, and most of my long sleeve stuff are Seahawks stuff.
Good call.
Oh, I see. And you, Danny, just were you actually did you have a reason or no?
No, not really. I just like the shirt.
You have to have certain things that, like Shamrock Shakes are only like during St. Patrick's season.
You have the
right?
weirdest way of thinking.
You have so many rules, yeah.
Like, if someone wants to wear a Seahawks shirt every Friday for the entire year, what's wrong with that?
Oh, I don't mind people do what they do, but Blue Friday is during the football season is all I'm saying. I mean, it's just like...
I don't mind it, but I'm going to complain about it.
Well, it's like Christmas all year. Like, there are certain things we do at the right... That's when we do them at the time. We have rituals and traditions. Otherwise, they're not a ritual or tradition if you're just doing it all the time.
You're also talking to somebody who wears Halloween shirts all year long, so...
Yeah, you are a good point. Special case. Steve, I know. Steve is just like, well, this is what I'm going to wear. I mean, Steve
it's warm and comfy, man.
I don't follow anyone's rules, man.
Oh, please.
He changes those rules.
Hold on.
He's a tastemaker.
The day he got married, he started following rules. I can see he doesn't care about what I
don't follow any rules when it comes to this room at this very moment when my wife is not here.
Yeah.
Those are the rules I don't follow, BJ.
Yeah, exactly. All of a sudden, the king of his castle is not such a big talker. If he
I'm
gets
the king of this chair that I'm sitting in at this current moment.
He's the king, but then the closer he gets to Puyallup, he's like, oh, it's time to be the court jester again.
Back to being the jester. Let me dance for you.
Let's get to our contestant today. We got Sean in Tacoma. Sean, are you there?
I am, and the king is going down today.
Oh! All right, Steve. Get out of here. Get out of here, Steve.
Goodbye.
For those playing at home, Sean will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Sean, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Let's do this, Rev.
What actor played the role of Hans Gruber in the original Die Hard movie?
Pass.
In the Wizard of Oz,
Alan Rickman.
Yes.
Good job, Mr. Potter.
In the Wizard of Oz, what city does the yellow brick road lead to?
Pass.
Oh!
Flo is a fictional salesperson for what insurance company?
Who?
Flo.
Progressive.
Yes. Cristiano Ronaldo is a well-known player of what sport? Yes. What does the fairy godmother transform into a coach for Cinderella?
A pumpkin.
Yes. Truman Capote wrote the book Breakfast at Where?
Oh, Tiffany's.
Yes. The double O in 007 stands for a license to what?
Kill.
Yes. What dice game was given its name due to being created on a boat?
Pass.
What you can find the Grand Teton National Park in what U.S. state?
Utah.
No.
Montana.
No.
Pass.
What is the capital of Alaska?
Juneau.
Yes. In the Wizard of Oz, what city does the yellow brick road lead to?
Topeka.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
5, 6, 7 correct.
Sean, how do you know Breakfast at Tiffany's, but don't know, living in the great land of Seattle, what the name of the, it's basically Seattle's nickname. You don't know.
I've never watched The Wizard of Oz.
What? Well, that'll do it.
Absolutely. There you go.
Oh, well.
You got to the bottom of that one.
By the
there.
way, you have a great Abbott and Costello bit, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah, because you could say, hey, what's the capital of Alaska? And they'll go, Juneau. And you go, yeah, I do, but I'm asking you, what's the capital of Alaska?
You joke that, and I did that with my wife for about 30 seconds yesterday. And
Did you really?
Yeah, she's not talking to me today.
Oh, man, great minds think alike.
Yeah, well, I mean, great minds?
Yeah, I would say so. I'm going to give you credit for this one.
Nice. All right.
Oh, hold on. Watch out. The king just walked in.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
hear
watch
ye,
out.
hear
Hold on.
ye. Steve, the King Miggs has
man.
entered the
Hold on.
studio.
Also known as Rule Breaker.
That's right.
Rule maker, tastemaker.
That's right. I am a tastemaker when
he
it comes
really?
to television and movies.
King Miggs.
Thank
you. Really?
Hear ye.
This is fun.
You know what? He's also delusional. I just want to say, like a lot of kings, he's delusional and lost his damn mind.
You also have to kind of figure out what realm it is. If it's in a Game of Thrones realm,
he's a Targaryen.
He's in trouble.
Yeah, he's
what?
definitely a Targaryen.
Targaryen?
Yeah, they're the crazy kings.
Yeah, but you're a dragon.
Yeah, they're the crazy people.
I'm going to spit fire right now.
Yeah, but you're not going to like what you do later on when you get pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get pissed at one person, you're going to like take it out on everybody.
You kind of go nuts.
Yeah, you kind of go crazy. You and your
Fair.
dragon. Yeah.
Am I still okay after all that?
No, you're not.
No.
Then your boyfriend's going to be really pissed at you, but sad about it, and then he's going to have to take you out.
Huh.
And not to dinner.
Very convoluted. I don't like how any of this is
Really not
going.
ending
I'd
very
just rather
well.
play Beat Migs.
Oh, by the way, your boyfriend is also like your what? Your nephew?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
It
think
gets
your boy-
complicated.
Yeah, it's incest too. So you're really not. You know what? You sure you want to be a Targaryen?
No.
Okay, good.
Are you ready?
Ah, yes.
What actor played the role of Hans Gruber in the original Die Hard movie?
Oh, crap. Hans Gruber. It's not John McClane. Eric Bogosian?
No.
Pass.
In the Wizard of Oz, what city does the yellow brick road lead to?
Seattle.
No.
The Emerald City.
Yes.
That's right, baby.
Flo is a fictional salesperson for what
Progressive.
insurance company? Yes. Cristiano Ronaldo is a well-known player at what sport?
Soccer.
Yes. What does the fairy godmother transform into a coach for Cinderella?
A pumpkin.
Yes. She does. Truman Capote wrote the book Breakfast at Where?
Tiffany's.
Yes. The 00 in 007 stands for a license to what?
Kill.
Yes. What dice game was given its name due to being created on a boat?
Oh, Yahtzee.
Yes.
Whoa,
Did you have to
dude.
move like that?
Well, I was just doing the Yahtzee.
You can find the Grand Teton National Park in what U.S. state?
Oh, BJ was there. Wyoming.
Yes.
Nice.
What is the capital of Alaska?
Anchorage.
No.
Juneau.
Yes. And Steve, the king retains his throne. 9-7. You win.
Bow down to the king, Sean.
Oh, boy. Sean, you did it.
Sorry. Great game, Steve.
Thank you, my friend. Have a great weekend.
Humble, good sportsman
Yeah.
afterwards, and
Just,
off to the guillotine.
Everything
for him.
that the king is not.
King.
This is not good.
The official royal band, Weezer.
Yes, thank you.
This is not how I wanted to start. A Friday.
The
Yahtzee, by the way, can I just say that surprised the hell out of me? Makes sense. Yacht-Z.
I had no idea that's how it came from,
I didn't
too.
until yesterday. I was trying to figure out a fun Yahtzee question. I don't know why, but
that is pretty amazing. You'd think I would know that being a gamer. I have no idea.
So why on a yacht did they play the game?
Just a rich couple needed a game to play on the yacht with their rich friends. Dice was easily portable, so they did that. And then they sold the rights to a guy who got famous for making bingo so popular. And actually, it didn't sell very well, but eventually it caught wind, and it is the game it is now.
I mean, they have created a whole genre of game called roll and writes, where you roll the dice, then you write stuff down, and there's so many of them out there now. I mean, if you like Yahtzee, you'll like a lot of
I still play a ton of Yahtzee. You can play like Yahtzee with friends on.
There's a great game called Welcome To. It's kind of like a real estate game, but it's just like but it basically is a roll and write. You roll your dice and write stuff down, and it's a real popular game if you like Yahtzee.
Steve, the only one you missed, Sean did get correct. It was Alan Rickman who played Hans Gruber.
I can't believe you got that wrong, Mr.
The guy
Potter.
from Man vs. Food?
No, that's
No.
the Man versus
Adam Richman.
Adam Richman. I was like, wait
Remember
a
the
minute.
movie Galaxy Quest by Graptar's Hammer? No, you don't.
No, he
do
doesn't.
you?
No.
I hate you so much, Mr. Potter.
Also, yeah, Snape from the old Harry Potter movies as well.
that too,
He doesn't watch them because he is a Luddite, which doesn't have anything to do with movies, more about technology, but it's all I can think of. Mr. Potter.
I am so glad it's Friday.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
Congrats,
really, King?
Steve.
I'm sorry, King.
The king needs to go back to his castle.
All right.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Your kids will be saying,
"Please 5 more minutes. I can't believe I did that."
and
"Look how high I can bounce."
Spring Free is the world's safest trampoline, the place where stories are made. The innovative design boasts no springs, so you know you're safe. Go ahead and create the greatest stories you'll tell your friends. We're back in stock. Get it while you can. To learn more about the world's safest trampoline, visit springfreetrampoline.com.
Mom, come watch us.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. I never know how to say Hoda's last name. Is it Cotby? All right, Hoda Kotb. I just only know her as Hoda.
That's why I just call her Hoda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she, of course, is one of the co-hosts of the Today Show, and she talked about her worst interview subject ever. And we get asked that from time to time, and I'm trying to be nicer in my old age and not, I'll say we had somebody, and then I'll explain what happened, but I won't name them. But Hoda's decided she's going to name her worst interview subject ever.
It was, I know exactly who that is. It's Frank Sinatra Jr. It was the worst guest we've ever had, bar none. He came for a book. He had a book he was promoting, and he didn't want to talk about it, so he didn't say anything.
We've had that, Steve.
Yeah, we have.
Where people
with Frank Sinatra Jr.? I don't remember chatting with him.
I actually have chatted with Frank Sinatra Jr. And
why?
Well, I was working at a radio station where we were serving that kind of audience.
And he was selling a book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he was performing, actually. We did our show from Atlantis. You know how some radio stations will go to some of those, those destination places. And Frank was one of the performers, so we had him on the show performing.
Yeah, I guess for a little bit of time he was not Frank Sinatra level successful, but people were talking about him.
And he was, doing his dad's songs. And it was the best you could do since Frank was no longer with us. You'd be like, all right, well, at least we got the junior. And here's a little bit of what that interview with Frank Sinatra Jr. That Hoda was talking about from back in 2015.
Frank Sinatra Jr. is here to tell us all about it, along with the book's co-author. Frank, what made you decide that this was the right time?
I didn't decide.
Oh, you didn't?
No, that was done by a committee.
Okay. A committee. Why was it important, do you think, to do something like this?
I think you better ask Charles that question.
Okay. We'll throw up the last picture of the family during the holidays. Tell us a little bit about this one, Frank.
I don't know anything about that one because I was not present.
I think
we have the best memories were at holiday times. That's what somebody told us. Probably a member of the committee.
When I was a young person, they used to refer to it as Christmas time. Of course, now it has to be politically correct and called the holidays.
I'll say Christmas time.
Very good. So do I.
Wow, he really was a jackass.
You got to ask Charles. Who is Charles?
Charles must be in charge.
Okay, of our days and our nights.
Exactly, that's who Charles was.
That would have been great. They're like, all right, then leave and give us Charles.
So, do you think...
give him like a lawn to sit on so he could be like, get off my lawn, you two hosts.
I mean, you know, we've had somebody like that, and we luckily, because I forgot to hang up the phone, we got to talk to Patton Oswalt and realize why he was so bitter about doing interviews.
So yeah, but Patton just seemed like, you know, he just wasn't feeling it, not because this just sounds like he's just angry. Like,
yeah, but there has to be some reason.
Patton was awkward, but this was just like, he was just a douche.
And we ended up working it out really well with Patton and had a great conversation once we get over there. And this is why I wish hosts would do this. I wish they would just say, hey, dude, what's up? You have a book. You come on our show to promote your book and you don't want to talk about it. Why are we having you on? I would have asked that question.
I just love that he even made it a point to say, I don't even want to write. Like, this book wasn't even my idea.
Yeah. It's like, well, what are you doing here then?
You know, I'm sure he has a team of people, as he seemed to reference, that forced him to do it.
See, a guy like me knows that there's bitterness seething, and if I push the right button, you're going to get some great stuff happening. But, you know, Hoda's probably too nice of a person. It's just like, you know what?
He's just like, it's that place is all PC. You know, when I was a kid, we celebrated Christmas.
I don't sound like an old man at all, do I? Frank Sinatra Jr. appearing somewhere that's crusty.
Dang.
I mean, yeah, you see,
I love that. I want to watch. I want to see that whole interview.
What a joy he must have been. Oh, man.
It's the lukewarm topic of the day.
So Hoda from Today's Show, and no doubt about it, listening to that excerpt, she's absolutely right. That had to be, Frank Sinatra Jr. had to be the worst interview that they've ever had, the worst guest. So based on this, we want to know, good or bad, what was the oddest encounter you have ever had with a celebrity? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Let's go to Matthew and Everett. Matthew, you are on the Rock.
BJ Show.
Who cares? What's up, buddy? Who'd you meet and what happened?
I met Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Woo! All right. That's a win. I feel like that would be a great win. How'd that go?
It was not a win, and I'll tell you why.
Oh.
Me and some fifth graders, and I don't want to disparage his name, but me and some fifth graders were on a field trip in Seattle, and we went to the Science Center, and there was a convention, and he was there, and he was going to be giving out autographs and meeting his fans. Well, we saw him. It was around 12:10, and he was eating behind the desk, and my teacher and a couple kids went up to him to try to ask him for an autograph or introduce ourselves, and the very first thing he said was, "I'm eating my lunch. Can't you come back later?" And listen, I understand. I'm 31 years old now. I understand he's just eating his lunch, but at 10 years old, though,
yeah,
pretty traumatizing.
Bill. It is a tough one. You know, for me, I always err on the side of, hey, whatever I'm doing, I'm just going to be kind to people because I just don't, you know, because I look at it like, what if that person doesn't like me anymore? And now with social media, I just don't think you can be a celebrity and afford to be an a-hole unless you don't care. I just, you know.
And I don't think he is an a-hole. It took years for me to go, well, he was just trying to eat his lunch. I get it.
Yeah, it's a tough call though, Matthew. I appreciate it, man. When you decide to go do stuff in public as someone who's recognized, you have to know that. I mean, if somebody was kind enough to take me aside and go, look, once you start putting video out there, people are going to know who you are and they're going to recognize you. Prepare some sort of kind response. Don't be the one that gets caught and then immediately just respond like a jerk. And so that was the best advice I was ever given. Because, Steve, even us, we'll be walking in a mall and, next thing you know, someone will come up and if you're not ready for that? It's startling when you go, I don't know who this person is. What do you want?
If I just go, kiss my ass. Thanks for listening.
Oh, yeah, you do?
No,
oh, good job, buddy.
That would be funny if that was like our catch thing.
Oh, you really should.
Like an inside joke with the listeners,
Yeah.
which watch now is going to happen.
Yeah.
Because right now, like sometimes it will happen where I'm somewhere and someone's just like, 69. And I'm like, if you don't know who I am.
Yeah, that's
And you're
awesome.
like the other person that's like standing in line with us. And they're just like, why is that guy just walking by randomly yelling 69 at this other guy as he goes, nice?
I think that is a great thing to do. And from now on, whenever you see Steve, I encourage this behavior.
Just yell 69.
Oh, definitely.
Well, I will without even half a second of a thought, just yell nice right back at you.
Oh, yeah, it's perfect.
Unless I'm at church. That might be awkward.
Oh, I don't know. I think, you know what?
No, that's not encouraged.
The Lord will understand, won't he?
Oh, yes.
Doesn't he think you're
He
doing
too
good
thinks
work?
it's hilarious.
Okay, fine. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Let's go to Patrick in Port Townsend. Patrick, you are on the Rock.
Morning, guys.
Morning, Patrick. So when did you have an odd encounter with a celebrity? What happened?
I think it was back around like 2002 or so. I was in New Orleans, and I was at Jazz Fest, and I met John Goodman, the great Dan Conner.
Oh, John Goodman,
And,
a great actor, yeah.
Yeah, decided to tickle him.
Oh, what?
How under the armpit.
How old were you?
I was a grown man.
How drunk were you?
I was pretty good and drunk. So
Okay.
I had bought this silver mullet wig, and I was, day one I had gone around with some like calf high socks and a tank top and got a good sunburn going, and then day two walked around with the tan lines and the mullet wig, and just happened to run into Dan Conner. And the funny thing is that he had on these blue jean overalls with no shirt on.
That's fantastic. So
why?
Well, it seems like everybody was getting trashed at Jazz Fest.
Yeah, New Orleans.
Are you sure you weren't on mushrooms and you were just in your house watching the Jazz Channel or something like that? This seems insane.
And so he did it. Did he acknowledge he was John Goodman?
Yeah. So it was at the Dr. John concert. He was actually it was actually like announced that he was there, and he went up on stage at one point and everything.
Oh, okay. So how did he react to you tickling him?
Exactly how you would think that he would. Kind of like a weird look on his face, but he just rolled with it.
Yeah.
Did he tickle you back?
No, he didn't tickle me back.
Oh, dang it! See, you could have said I was, I was tickled by Dan Conner instead, but no.
I feel like
in hindsight, I should have just gone in for the hug.
Oh yeah, high five.
Yeah. I think the high five is probably good for a celebrity. Maybe a hug is a lot.
Do you feel like if we ever had the opportunity to talk to John Goodman and we brought that story up, that he would remember it? If he was sober.
Yeah. If he was sober, yes.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that, being touched by people that you don't know is weird, man.
If someone tried to tickle my armpits, I would never forget it.
Yeah, especially I was thinking of you with that story because you do not like to be touched.
It would take everything in my power not to hit them.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, so
I got kicked out. I got in trouble with school one time because a kid behind me in junior high, he did the whole thing where you get behind someone and you
the
each
double
finger
poke?
on the ribs.
Yeah. Oh, the rib poke.
Because you thought it'd be funny to see me so I popped and I just turned around and just punched him. That got me in trouble.
I don't understand why. I think you were well within your rights.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't do that to somebody.
Touching somebody is just, you don't do it unless you know them. And even if you know them, you better get consent. That's all I'm saying. Let's go to James in Fife. James, you are on the Rock.
Hey, morning, guys.
Good morning, James. So, good or bad, tell us what was the oddest encounter you've had with a celebrity?
So mine was more of a local celebrity. It was with Freddie Garcia.
Oh,
Mariners
great,
pitcher.
yeah, great pitcher for a while for the Mariners.
And
yeah,
he was known for liking to party.
He was.
Yeah. Well, I met him at it used to be Tiki Bob's, and
oh yeah,
I was pretty drunk at the time, and they had just lost a pretty big game, and I was really excited, and every time I would see him that night, including in the restroom, I got all excited and told him how great they were and gave him high fives, and he put up with my drunk plight, but yeah, it was pretty funny and awkward.
He did like to party. What frustrated me was, if he was partying the day before he was pitching or something, you'd be just like, okay, Freddie, come on. And then I'd always wonder, because I'd heard about this with Freddie, if he gets slammed, I'd be sitting there going, what was he doing last night? That was the first thing in my mind, is going, wow, he is just garbage today. What was he doing last night?
The funny thing is that you always heard these stories about Freddie Garcia back in the day of being like a guy that liked to party, but you never heard negative stories. So it's not like he was like a fun guy to party with.
He might be, though, the last generation of celebrity partiers that you may not hear everything about. Like, people used to do a good job of keeping. Now, I don't know if you can party without somebody basically telling some stories out of school.
Well, I saw there was someone that said this. It was more based on like the days of like the Babe Ruth days and things like that. They said back in those days, the press's job was to hide the not so positive behavior of the sports stars.
Yes.
Like, their job in a way was to hide people from that stuff. Like, they would never report on it. They would always try and make sure to make the celebrity or the baseball star look as positive as they possibly could. Nowadays, the press's job is to out that person for whatever, wrong behavior that they're doing.
Isn't it insane? I mean, it'd be nice to have a happy medium where the press's job is just to tell the truth.
Oh, no, we can't have that.
Yeah, because they weren't telling the truth back in those days, but at least it was for, if you will, a civil reason. Unfortunately, some really horrific things got basically swept under the rug that were really bad for people. So it'd be nice just to have the press just do their job and tell the truth and not make crap up or try to make somebody look bad.
Dude, I love this story. I was tasked to do personal security for Robin Williams while in Iraq. He called me a big, scary man, and I called him a short, hairy man. He laughed, and my buddy and I ended up having dinner with him that night. He was sincere and a very funny man from Bend and Gig Harbor.
That's really, man, that's awesome.
That's a great story.
That's one of the greats right there. Let's go to Nick in Kent. Nick, you are on the Rock.
Morning, guys.
Morning, Nick. What you got for us, buddy?
So my mother was a surrogate 3 times, and on the 3rd time, she was a surrogate for William Shatner's daughter.
I didn't know William Shatner had any surrogate children. I had no idea. I thought he was married every time.
William Shatner's
it was
daughter.
His daughter.
Oh, his daughter. Okay, now I got you. I misunderstood you. So, in other words,
William Shatner was a surrogate mom?
Can you believe it? So what you're saying is his daughter needed a surrogate.
Correct.
Gotcha. I misunderstood, but so was he ever part of anything at all for that surrogate? Did he ever show up?
Yeah, absolutely. We got to meet him several times. He sent a few gifts to my mom. He threw the baby shower at his house. He was actually quite rude to us on multiple occasions.
He's what I found is he's very. I will say this and see if you can back this up, Nick. Since he's very curt. And sometimes Kirk gets mistaken for rude, but he's like...
I thought he was Kirk.
He was Kirk, Captain Kirk.
Right.
But you know what? Like, when he pretty much is very direct, and... Because that's what my experience with... I thought he was rude, but then upon further review, I realized in dealing with him, he's just a very direct man. He's like, he knows what he wants, and he knows what he doesn't want, and there's not a lot of wiggle room in how he behaves.
Yeah, a small other fun fact about that is that the day that we had the baby shower at his house, he had to leave early because it was the exact same day that he was filming his Comedy Central roast.
Oh, man. That is
cool. Maybe that's why he was in a bad mood.
Yeah, he knew what was about to happen to him.
That's awesome. Well, I'll tell you, Steve, every dealing I've had with William Shatner, first of all, when he's been on the show, he's been terrific. Everyone should learn how to do a radio interview from that guy because every time I've talked to him, he's been amazing. Behind the scenes, he's exactly that. He's very like, you will get the conversation, but that's all you'll get. Maybe, he will do exactly what he's supposed to do. Then he goes and lives his life. He's been a really great example of how I can just go, I'm going to do what I want, and not be mean about it. But he's very direct. And some people do see that to be rude. He's not a small talk guy. That's for sure.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. If I file for bankruptcy, do I have to appear in court? That makes me nervous.
Going to court is never something that's easy to do. However, when you file bankruptcy, you usually only have to attend one hearing at the courthouse Of course, I'll be there with you. And when you go to court, it's not before the judge. It's actually with the trustee or the trustee's attorney. One of the things that's critical in a bankruptcy is that you give your attorney and the court all of your information. You list all of your assets and all of your creditors. That's what we're trading for your discharge, is your true and honest disclosure of your assets and liabilities. And so the court hearing is just usually about a 5-minute deal where you show up and reaffirm and swear that all the information you've given the court and your attorney is correct.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 1 in every 5 children killed in traffic crashes in the U.S. was a pedestrian. That's why 3M is working alongside local governments and NGOs to help improve crosswalk visibility and traffic markings in school zones, in a worldwide initiative to provide kids with a safe walk to school and access to the education they deserve. To learn more and take action, visit 3m.com/schoolzonesafety.
3M Science. Applied to life.